Morning, I'm delighted to be here. Thank you, CEO Ellis. I tell you, I 100% support everything that they said. What he said is completely true, what's going on in our justice system. And even though I'm a little bit sore because the ACLU stole one of my very talented young lawyers from the public, Coach Tucker, from the public defender's office, but she's doing great work.
Well trained.
She's fantastic, so I'm glad that you have her there. You know, just a little bit of background with the United States Supreme Court. What the law says is actually liberty is the norm and detention is the exception. And as CEO Ellis talked about, really what we don't have, what we have right now, what we don't want to have is two systems of justice, one for the rich and one for the poor. Because like he said, even in the DeKalb County Jail, the majority of people sitting there now are people who are too poor to pay their bond. And that's just not right. There's also a lot of research that has looked at pretrial detention issues. And do you know that for people who are considered kind of a low risk, that if you spend just 2 to 3 days in jail, you are at a 40% increased risk of reoffending. You lose your job, you lose your house, you lose your children, and we as a community, we all have to cover that cost. And there are two reasons for bail in the first place, according to the United States Supreme Court. It's to protect the community. You know, is this person at risk of hurting someone else in the community if they were released? And it's only to make sure that person appears back in court. So those are really the only two legal reasons for holding someone in jail. And so what we've done here in DeKalb County, I'm very excited about it, under the leadership of Judge Beryl Anderson. She is the chief judge of our magistrate court division. We implemented back in April, we changed the bond schedule. So if you are arrested on certain nonviolent misdemeanor offenses in DeKalb County, you will automatically get what we call a signature bond, which means you do not have to put up any kind of money. You just sign your name and you get released from jail immediately with your court date to appear back. So that's for certain misdemeanor nonviolent offenses. And I just wanted to say that this to me is just a start. Yes. It is not the end. And we really do appreciate your support in NAACP. And I'm here to ask you to keep on supporting. You know, talk to Donna Coleman-Stribley, our solicitor, about maybe even branching out and making more misdemeanor offenses with the signature bond. So my office has been tracking and have been keeping track of how has this impacted DeKalb County and the court systems. And so we've been looking at the number of people who have been remaining in jail who are unable to make that bond. And our hope was, since we've changed the bonding schedule, that some people now can just get a signature bond, our hope would be that we would see a decrease in the number of people languishing in jail, not able to make a bond. And I can say that at least in May and June, we saw a 20% decrease in people languishing in jail, which is really a great start, and it is significant. For whatever reason in July, we only saw a 10% decrease. Now, you know, that might be just depending upon the offenses that people were being arrested for. There's so many factors that may take that into account. But we're going to continue monitoring this, and again, I think we really need to push for this sort of reform in DeKalb County to make even stronger headroads into equal justice really for everybody. So one other thing, if I can, that I just want to talk about that we're doing with pretrial bonding issues is a lot of the research shows, you know, money bail, just paying money, that's not going to assure that you're not going to commit another crime, and it's not going to ensure that you'll show up for your court date. Remember, those are really the two big reasons for bond. And so a lot of the research has shown that what matters the most for people showing up in the court are reminders. And you know, like, I get a text message when my hair appointment. You know, I get a text message from my doctor, like, hey, your appointment's coming up. So in DeKalb County, we started text messaging people who have been arrested and charged about when their court date is. And so we don't have enough data yet on that to see if we've significantly decreased people, the failure to appear is what we call, people who fail to appear for the court date. But I think that's a great, innovative, progressive thing. It's very simple. I mean, it's simple in the sense, you know, we've had to get a lot of IT involved and a lot of different people involved, but it's kind of a solution that may be very helpful. And so we'll be looking, my office is going to be looking and examining that kind of data as well.
Is Dekalb the first to do that, texting the reminders, to your knowledge?
In Georgia, maybe. I know there's other jurisdictions doing it. I know like in the state of Washington, they do it. So we might be, but it's, you know, again, and this is just, we're starting in the traffic division and we're starting in misdemeanors is where we're starting right now, doing that kind of reform. But anyway, that's kind of my report. I just wanted to update you on some of the reforms that we're trying to do on the local level in DeKalb County. So thank you all.